What's up, internet? My name's Ori. Welcome back to the channel. It is Sunday, August 18th, day number 34 inside the Big Brother house. Veto was yesterday, and it was the return of a fan favorite comp that we have not seen in a very long time. Who won? How will it affect noms? Plus, some of these players are the worst to ever play, but it's also really great. Let's talk about that, plus all the intel drama and more from yesterday's live feeds. But first, if you are new here, hit that subscribe button. You like this video, hit that like button, hit that notification bell. You'll never miss a video. You'll never miss a stream. A little bit of a recap if you haven't been keeping up with everything going on the feeds. Tucker won HOH. Quinn, Brooklyn, and Cam were his nominees. Brooklyn is the target despite Quinn being in that big rivalry with Tucker. Potentially, Tucker would even save Quinn if he needs to, but he also told him if it gets out that he's a pawn, he could become the target once again. Now, yesterday was Angela's actual birthday. No fireworks like I kind of hoped. How she was a have-not, sleep deprived, was starting to get weird feelings about TK and chemo. And they seem to have set up all kinds of nice little decorations. They had streamers and slop cookies, and she seemed to enjoy that. Overall, I think Angela had probably her best day in the Big Brother house. You know what? Honestly, it was good to finally just see her happy, not paranoid, not going crazy. She was just seemingly having a fun day in there. So good for Angela. Also, remember what I said about Quinn being the pawn, and if it got back to Tucker, he could become the target once again? Well, Brooklyn ratted him out. Brooklyn went and said that he was saying he's just a pawn and that he'll be okay. So we'll see how this develops as that takes us into the veto competition that took place yesterday. Joseph and MJ were picked to play along with the nominees, Brooklyn, Cam, and Quinn, along with the HOH Tucker. Feeds were down for a long time, and when they came back, things were kind of a mess, right? Like there was stuff kind of all over the floor. They were sweeping up. I was like, what went on? And then it hit me. It was hide and go veto. Yes, one of my favorite comps of all time. It's literally just hide and seek, but with a veto that you put in the house. They stopped doing it during the COVID seasons. Pretty much the way it works, from what I understand, is let's say Tucker goes in the house and he hides his veto. Well, then someone from production will come in, take it out of that spot. Then Quinn would come in, hide his veto, and repeat that process until everyone hides their vetoes. That way it doesn't accidentally get discovered as somebody's trying to hide it, and it keeps all of the hiding places a secret until it's time. Once all that happens, they put them back in. Then they let all the house guests back in, well, not one at a time, to go find a veto chip. And then whoever's veto chip is still in the house and not found, they will be the one who wins the power of veto. Since production was coming into the house, that was against COVID protocols. So like I said, we have not seen this competition in a very long time, and it's one of the most fun, especially with just how the house gets so destroyed. And it's great because it's another equitable comp, right? This is a very fair comp that anyone has a chance to win, right? You guys know what I'm going to say. Tucker won veto. This is now, if you include the AI arena comps, what now? Five wins for Tucker. And I know we count the what are they? The Battle of the Blocks for Frankie. Frankie Grande, I think, had 6 or 7 wins, something like that. It's not a record, right, or by any means, but Tucker, he's already getting close to 9. Guys, this is a thing, and we talked about this on Friday's stream, where it doesn't matter how fair or equitable you make these competitions. Is it better that they are more likely to have anyone have a chance to win? Absolutely. But I think a big thing that people were like upset about, especially over the past few seasons, is like one person winning every comp. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the competitions are. There's always going to be someone who's just on a different level. And it's more about putting more competitors in the house than people who don't want to actually win the competitions. That's also a thing, too, where throwing competitions is a good thing. You don't always want to win every competition in that house, especially early in the game. It puts a target on your back. So I don't know. It's an interesting thing. Maybe we'll have to dive deeper into the competition issue later at some point. So where does this leave us? Right? We talked about how Tucker was originally planning on saving Quinn if he needed to from the block. He really wanted Brooklyn to be the one to go. Chelsie would potentially be a replacement nominee. How's that going to all work out now? Especially that Quinn has now said that he's just a pawn, which was the thing that Tucker told him not to do. Well, there was also some drama involving the two because Tucker's stuff got thrown around during the competition and he blamed Quinn. Quinn denied it. He was like, yo, man, that was not me. And later, Angela actually said that she thought Cam had done it, but really, it was Brooklyn. Brooklyn was the one who threw his stuff all over the place. And she really just kind of let Tucker and Quinn go at it, right? She never really stepped in and was like, oh, yeah, I did that. That was me. Nah, she just let it happen. Now, Joseph, who was actually second in the competition, he chatted with Tucker about, what's going on, about how Quinn is spilling all kinds of information. It's kind of really messed up. He also really wanted to let Tucker know, like, hey, I'm glad that I joined up with you. Joseph was like, I'm so happy that I started working with the best player in the house. Joseph, guys, I'm afraid to talk nice about Joseph. Let me just say, I've been a little bit of a jinx this year. And Joseph, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. He also asked, all right, hey, Tucker, are you still thinking Brooklyn as the target? And it was kind of like non-committal. It was kind of like, wait and see kind of a thing. Because one of his things is he wants to talk to Chelsie. Tucker wants to talk to her and give her a chance one more time to fess up about Pentagon. Because apparently she still has not admitted to that. Even though everybody kind of knows at this point. You might as well just say it. And if she doesn't, he'll likely use the veto on Quinn and Chelsie will go up as the nominee. He even goes as far to say, and a lot of them agree, Cam just isn't really a threat. Like, he doesn't do well in the competitions. He's not doing great socially. And if it happens to be Cam versus Chelsie in the end, Chelsie should be the one to go home. Woo! Do you guys remember when I said, hey, I do not like that Cedric and Chelsie won these HOHs? And I said how bad it was for their game. I don't know. A lot of you disagreed with me on that one, but it doesn't look too good for them back-to-back weeks here. So just saying, I'm not going to say I was right, but if you guys want to say I was right in the comments, maybe you could say I was right in the comments. I'm just saying. But even though Tucker is now looking at potentially Chelsie or Brooklyn going this week, TK and Chemo, they're back at it, people. TK says if Chelsie is on the block, she won't vote her out. And she is upset that these decisions keep getting made without her. You were in the room, TK. You were there. All you said the entire time was, mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. That's all you said. If you want to keep somebody off the block, if you want your opinions to be heard and to mattered, then say it. Don't just sit there and let it go. Don't do like what you did with Quinn. Go, oh, I'll talk to Quinn. I'll talk to him. Well, maybe we should talk to Quinn. Maybe. I don't know. If you don't talk to people, it doesn't happen. They can't read your mind, TK. They can't do that. You got to say it. She also goes on to say, like, oh, when I flipped the vote to keep Ravina, I wasn't, like, planning to work with a different side of the house and a whole different set of people. What do you mean? What do you mean you weren't planning to work with different people? You blindsided the entire alliance you were in. But someone make sense to me. Like, we could end up in the same situation that we had last week where Chemo and TK just decide, you know what? we don't like this alliance anymore. Let's flip and keep Chelsie. They ended up meeting with Joseph, who kind of pushed, like, listen, Quinn's, he's gonna stay. Tucker wants him to stay. Let's keep it. Like, going after him is just silly, right? Like, why would we take him out? He's not gonna come after any of us. And TK's like, yeah, I would rather MJ go up. MJ should be a good replacement. She's like, I should go talk to Tucker about this. She won't. She won't do it. She'll say it, and I'm sure she'll say it multiple times, but she's not actually going to do it. Even better than all of this, they ended up chatting with Rubina, and they're talking about how, you know what, Tucker isn't looking out for them. He's just doing decisions that are good for him, and if he does that, I gotta bounce. Do you know what Tucker and Rubina are doing up in the HOH room, TK? Are you aware of what they're doing? Let me take that back. You are aware because then you and Chemo went and put a spotlight on the showmance that Tucker and Rubina are in. All you're doing is making her doubt you. You don't think she's gonna go tell Tucker about all of these conversations? I'm blown away by how bad they are playing right now. They were in such a good position before they blew up the house, only to blow up the house, and then they're not in a great position, but then to dig it deeper. They want to go even lower. I don't think they can go any lower than they are right now. It is just baffling, absolutely baffling to me how bad this is. But hey, maybe they just, sit on their hands. They don't say anymore. They zip their lips and everything will be fine. We'll see. Some other little interesting things that happened yesterday included Brooklyn finally telling Chelsie she was a former Miss America. It's actually kind of funny that this came up yesterday because someone actually asked me, like, do people know she's a former Miss America winner? And I actually didn't know. Like, I thought they just kind of knew, but I never heard them bring it up or anything like that. Chelsea's reaction was great. She literally just kind of fell over right to the floor. So that was pretty fun. Also, Leah. Let's talk about Leah. Leah is very upset with Brooklyn and Chelsie. She has confirmed that she overhears Chelsie when she's talking alone to the camera, which we've talked about here on the updates. I love when Chelsie talks to the camera. I like when any of the house guests talk to the camera and give us insights to what they're thinking. But Chelsea's are actually pretty funny. She's always kind of roasting people. She's digging into them, going deep. Leah overhears this. Chelsie might think she's alone, but she overhears this. She's like, she sits in that back room all day alone, talking to the cameras, talking all this trash about people. She also knows that Chelsie has called her dumb and says the way she talks is very bad. She says likes and da and blah, blah, blah all the time. She also is aware that Brooklyn is probably the one who messed with Tucker's stuff. And there was also a great convo. She had a lot of convos with everybody throughout the day. But late at night, she had a really good one with Joseph, who, again, I'm afraid to talk nice about Joseph. I don't want to knock on some wood. All my desk is made of wood. My head's made of wood. Got to knock on it all because I don't want to be that guy. I've done it to too many people this season already. I'm actually kind of hoping for a reverse thing to happen with TK and Chemo. Maybe I can flip it around for them. But Joseph and Leah, they had a great convo at night, and they kind of talked about, all of that stuff I was telling you, how she's been upset with Brooklyn and Chelsie and all this kind of stuff, and how Joseph also agrees that, Brooklyn and Chelsie, like, they've been talking a lot of stuff, and how, nobody seems to want to work with them. And Leah's like, well, I do. And Joe's like, well, I want to work with you too. So, like, do we got like a little final two that just got made here? It really just felt like they seemed to really bond kind of nicely. And again, I don't want to really talk too great about Joseph because I feel like I might jinx him, but he's really making good connections with people. I talked about how, in the beginning of the game, when we first did our allegiance charts, he was near the top and then fell drastically, but also by like no fault of his own. The only things that really caused him to fall was the actions of everybody else in the house, right? Like, he had a really great bond with both the Angela side and the Matt side. But after the blow up, Angela didn't trust him, and then Matt thought he was kind of like the person that caused it all to happen. So his social credit really took a deep dive. Then you had the whole thing with the collective where like nobody was really into it, but like he was like, "No, let's get this thing going. Let's keep this thing together." And it seemed like a lot of his game was hurt by things that he didn't really do wrong, and it did feel like he had a little bit of a an overconfident, very warped view of his standing in the game, thinking he was the star of the show. But you know what, guys? Let's show you the allegiance chart. Joseph is up top, baby. Listen, I think Tucker, of all the people other than Rubina, I think Tucker listens to Joseph the most. I think Joseph has finally found the person that he can kind of sway and get to do the things that he wants to do. And I think he's at the top of our board right now as far as the social credit goes. Yes, are there people who would put him up? Probably, right? If Brooklyn or Chelsie end up sticking around, they're probably going after Joseph. I could see MJ putting him up. I could see Cam putting him up. Chemo and Tico aren't going to put him up. Quinn's not going to put him up. Leia's not going to put him up. Who else? Angela's not going to put him up. Rubina's not going to put him up. Tucker's not going to put him up. So what I mean, I think he's in a really good spot. Knock on wood, right? Like next week, Joseph's probably going to get evicted now. I'm sorry, guys. Listen, it's just the way it's been. I've been a jinx all season. Other than that, not too many changes. I've moved Leah farther over to the Tucker side. I feel like she has really gotten away from the Chelsie and Brooklyn end of things. Chemo and TK, I've kind of moved them towards the middle a little bit more because again, like they would really like them to stay. But again, like I don't understand how you would think they'd even be okay with working with you again. Because as far as I know, Chelsie and Brooklyn, they don't want to necessarily work with Chemo and T-Core anymore. Like I don't know. I don't know. It's an interesting thing. We'll see how it all develops. But yeah, I'm excited to see tonight's episode. We'll have kind of the whole aftermath of the entire vote, the scramble for the vote. It's always interesting to hear some of those whispers that happened right beforehand that we didn't get to see during the episode. It's kind of like when we have a double eviction. I always feel like a double eviction episode is two parts. There's the eviction and then there's the Sunday episode that follows. Same thing. We have the crazy eviction that took place on Thursday. Now this Sunday's episode, we'll see a lot of how that all went down moments before the vote. We'll also get the entirety of the wall competition on tonight's episode. So that's going to be really fun to see as well. And now I'm looking forward to Wednesday's episode to see Hide and Go Veto. It's been so long since we've seen that competition. I'm so excited to see that. Let me know what you guys are thinking down in those comments down below about everything that's going on inside the house. What do you think of Tucker's plan to potentially take down Quinn, put Chelsie up as the renom? Who would you like to see go in those scenarios with those three? I would imagine a lot of people would probably rather see Cam go. He feels like he's just kind of there at this point. Chelsie and Brooklyn, though, I think are the big targets that people are going to go after. So if even if Cam ends up losing the AI arena, it feels like either Chelsie or Brooklyn will be the ones to go this week if everything stays the way it does. But again, this is Tucker. Maybe Rubina fills him in on everything that happened with Core and Chemo. Maybe TK's up on the block. Maybe she's up on the block this week because you never know with Tucker. You never know. Thank you guys all so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you for hanging out with me every morning. If you are new here, hit that subscribe button. You like this video. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, smash that like button, hit that notification bell. You'll never miss a video. You'll never miss a stream. Check out all the links to my socials in the pinned comment description down below. Things like Twitch and Kick. I know they've been quiet since Big Brother started, but hopefully we can get those up and running soon. BB just dominates so much time in my life. Then check out also things like my Twitter and Discord. Great place to keep track of when videos get posted if you don't actually get the notifications from YouTube. plus a lot of other really cool stuff going on over there. I have to check. The fantasy football league might be filled up now at this point, but we're doing a fantasy football league over there. If you're into sports, we got a sports section. Other reality shows, you can chat in there. We've got Challenge 40 going on. House of Villains is going to be coming up. So if you're looking for a fun place to chat with like-minded individuals, check out the Discord as well. Also, if you want to support the channel, there's things like the Ori Fund and Throne. Never needed. The biggest support you can give is smashing that like button and putting a comment down below. Thank you guys all again so much for watching, and I will see you next time.
I'm in the Big Brother house, and I am about to drink my coffee.